It's the radio guy, Mike Prince, and welcome to another Sunday Night Live edition here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. We got a pretty good lineup for you on tonight. We'll hear from Johnny Cole, former head football coach of the Texas Southern Tigers. We'll hear from Eric Dooley, head football coach of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. A whole lot in the mix on this evening throughout the course of the week. Some of it might be new news to some, old news to others, but it's still going to be some news. We have so much on the table for tonight. So much to cover in the fastest hour in radio. Wow. No football games this week. Plenty of baseball. We'll try to touch on that a little bit as well. But without any further delay, let us jump right into this evening's episode. How you doing? And I hope that you've had a fantastic weekend. The rain has passed us by. And because of that, we are in pretty decent shape, checking things out. We'll have a loaded Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline on tonight. Our first guest scheduled to be on board with us is Coach Johnny Cole. And, of course, with Dawson Odoms exiting stage left, headed toward Norfolk, Virginia to be the head football coach for the Spartans. All sorts of speculations have been flying every which way but loose. And I say speculation because some of it could be true, some of it could not be true. Could be a half-empty, half-full scenario, but reports are flying off the mantle all over the place. All over the place. Some of it makes sense, some of it doesn't make sense, some of it is just good dialogue, good talk, and that's what talk radio is all about. Now, the hottest one right now is that Coach Connell Maynor allegedly has met, along with some others, and I don't have a problem with that being the case, but you would think that if it's true, there could have been some restraints from both parties maybe to at least wait until next week's championship game is over with. I know that Southern is on record for stating that they want to have a coach named by the end of next week. And if that are the case, then why would Maynard even be considered if they plan to make the announcement the week he's supposed to play? Just throwing something out there. Don't know. But then if you're A&M and you hear that your coach has a wandering eye, which coaches do, they're always looking for the next best gig, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the week before a championship game, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Don't know how that's all going to unfold and shape out, but you best believe we will be Johnny on the spot giving you. We're not about trying to break anything first. We want to make sure that what we do give you is accurate to the most point. Some things may be here, there, or yonder every now and then, a little shade of gray in some areas, but for the most part, we're going to give you the meat and potatoes. And you can chew on it and decide what's what when everything has settled down. Speaking of settling down, there is a championship game coming up. Who do you have and why? Do you believe A&M will have enough fuel in the tank to cross the finish line, or will Pine Bluff continue to be slow and steady and get things done? We'll try and talk about that a little bit later on throughout the course of the show. We're going to take us a break, and then when we come back, hopefully we'll have our first guest lined up, Coach Johnny Football Cole. You listen to the Mike Prince Show live right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network with our Sunday Night Live edition.
The Open Mic Broadcast Network would like to take this time to recognize its sponsors and underwriters: Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Prairie View Athletic Club, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Reflections Paint and Body Shop, Helping Hands Lawn Service, Diva Skin Conditioner, Purple Drip Daiquiri and Grill. For more information on how you can become an underwriter or a sponsor here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, our number to call is 832-213-8824. Serving the community through faith and athletics. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas. Is SWAC Sunday baseball coverage exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Join us each week during the regular season of the Southwest Athletic Conference as we bring you exclusive SWAC baseball coverage. You can join in by dialing 857-777-0000 or by dialing 857-777-0004. SWAC Baseball Sunday afternoon broadcast exclusively on the Open Mic Broadcast Network.
This is Whitney Sandell with the Waller Pee Wee Football Association. Just want to let you know we have opened up our 7-on-7 spring football registration. You go online at wallerpeeweefootball.org and register from there. It's $100 for registration, a little more for cheer, as the cheer registration will go for spring and fall. We're currently working on our schedule and what league we're going to be playing with, and looking forward to a fun-filled spring 7-on-7 league. Thanks.
Drivers and bicyclists both have the right to be on the road and travel safely. And when we're on the road together, safety is a shared responsibility. State law requires drivers to maintain at least 3 feet of clearance when passing bicyclists. And bicyclists should always ride with the direction of traffic and follow all traffic signals. It's safer. It's courteous. It's the law. A message from the Regional Planning Commission Pedestrian and Bicycle Program.
We are the SWAC. Our heritage lifts us to great heights because my history is forged by trailblazers. That motivates me today to focus on my future. We are the SWAC. We are the new trailblazers. And this is my heritage.
And welcome back to Sunday Night Live edition here on the Mike Prince Show. We're going straight to the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with our first guest of the evening. Needs no introduction. He has been a familiar football analyst here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network. I present to some and introduce to others none other than Johnny Football Cole. How you doing this evening, Coach?
I'm great, Mike. How you doing?
I'm doing real good, man. I understand you on the West Coast, man, soaking up some sun rays.
Yeah, I got to come out here and pay my respects and come out and visit a very special person to me. And, you got to make sure you do what you have to do and get away. And so when you get back where you're working at, that you can get to work and get jobs done. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. And speaking of getting jobs done, I know you keep your finger on the pulse of everything that's going around in the world of college football, in particular FCS and HBS, or should I say HBC football. And with all the latest in the rumblings of coachings, realignment, and coming up, this gets you kind of perked up this time of year with maybe this could be the year, huh?
Well, it's an exciting time for HBCU, and have an opportunity to play in the spring, and really don't have a whole bunch of other conferences to compete against, But then there's some things that are, that I don't necessarily agree with, with HBCU football.
Okay, and in particular, what is that, sir?
Well, I mean, they, giving opportunities away to guys that really hadn't earned their stripes. I want to take my hat off to Coach Oldham, and, I'm being an HBCU graduate and being very successful in coaching football. I just feel sorry for the younger guys that's coming through that's actually trying to pay their dues. It's already tough on a black coach period. And they're always moving the flag. And now that you're a HBCU graduate that don't play pro ball, they don't move the flag again. So, it's just one of those things, that, we just got to overcome.
Okay, now we're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with Coach Johnny Cole. Now, Coach, when you say not giving the opportunities, we know that we're going to have supporters and naysayers everywhere we go in every genre of life. What about those who are saying, well, Johnny Cole, what are you talking about? You had your chance. You stepped in some bad lanes and get over it.
Well, one of the things, when you say you stepped into bad lanes, I've made some mistakes. But, on the other hand, I've done my job, and my job was to produce young men to graduate. And my graduation rate was up and above of over 94 of APR. I took a team that hadn't won a championship in 42 years and won on the football field as well. And I represented the university as well, and it so happened to be the university that I love and gave me an opportunity to go there and play football and basketball and also get a college degree.
Okay, now, once again, for the naysayers now, but Johnny, you left the program in a bad state, almost a death penalty, and why should we be having a forgiving heart for that?
Well, I'm glad you said that. And I think you maybe missed my statement that they hadn't won a football championship in 42 years. The program was in shambles when I took it over. It was 4-40. They didn't offer 63 full scholarships. And see, it's not the old days, where the coach walks over to the admissions office or to the registrar's office and change grades. Johnny Cole didn't have anything to do with that. They got Johnny Cole for failure to monitor a coach, for speaking with a kid's parents about guys. I took that. If you looked at the violations, it was more administrative than there was as a coach, but me being the big fish. But I take responsibility for that. That's why I walked away from my alma mater with no gripe, no grime. I walked away and I took the grunt of it.
Okay. And by taking the grunt of it, do you feel like that, for lack of a better term, time served, give this brother an opportunity and see what the end's going to be?
Well, Mike, it's funny that, it's 10 years later this season, 10 years later, we still talking about the same thing. And so that lets you know that really at the end of the day, it wasn't all the way right, and, hopefully that I'm still fighting, I'm still here, and hopefully that a system that needs to be turned around, a program that needs a guy that's going to do it the right way, a chance to come in and coach. I mean, my counterparts at the PWIs, they've done a whole lot worse, you know what I mean? And since I left Texas Southern in 2010, every university in our conference have went through the same issues that I done, or they say I done, and that's what it is. If you read the report, it says something totally different. And the program was left in great shape, Coach. Believe me, because I took the program over. It was 4-40. I left a program that was 9-3. So I don't know how they could say that, but hey, that's the fleas that come with the dog.
Yes, sir. I do understand. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with Coach Johnny Football Cole. Serves as an analyst for the open mic, but feels like now the opportunity is prime right now to get back in the game, if you would. Now, Coach, what about those who would say, well, Johnny, it's been 10 years. Maybe your style of football is no longer the hot ticket right now. Maybe the game has passed you by. How do you answer to that?
Well, of course, when I left Texas Southern, I took a job up in junior college and coach. And then also I went into the high school ranks and coach. So really, I've been off the field about 6 years. But what they don't understand is behind the closed doors, I have about 15 huddle accounts. I have a guy that worked for me at Alabama State as the offensive coordinator at Michigan State. Kid played for me as the running back coach at Arkansas. One of my kids just got the head job at Edward Waters. And I have huddle accounts where we go over different things. And these are kids that are actually still running my system. And, if you ask them and ask guys that play, I was really ahead of my time. This stuff they're doing now, Coach, I did this back in the 90s. You can watch the film. I've done every conference I've been in. I've broke all the conference records in the KCAC in 90. Look it up. In 98, I broke all the Ohio Valley conference records. In the SWAC, I had one of the quarterbacks, Darnell Kennedy, finished number 4 in NCAA. We still run and tackle, and I still know football. I probably have forgotten more football than most people. Is just now learning. The game has changed. It's a finesse game. And I still think that the teams that play power football are the teams that win championships. And if you look at the pros, Belichick is almost in his 70s. Nick Saban is in his, 68, 69. He won the NCAA championship. It's the older coaches that continue to win, and they continue to have their same values, their same way of style of coaching and making adjustments. So, that's just something to keep you out of the seat.
Okay.
It's not true.
Okay. Now, I heard you refer to yourself as somewhat of a specialist that resurrect programs. And when you look across the board, are there any programs that jump out to you in particular, or you just want the opportunity with anyone at any given time?
Well, it's no question, Coach. I want to go back to my alma mater and finish the right way, because I thought I had us going in the right direction. And, again, the administration have their right to choose and do what they want to do. And that's why I took it and walked away from the game. And, the other thing about me walking away, and I don't want to get away from the question, was, I have kids that I decided that I would stop coaching and start watching them and taking care of them. My son is a senior this year, so he'll be graduating. And, it was time for me, to step away from the game. So now, I think it's time for me to go back. It's a lot of programs. It's called insanity when you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. If I got a program that's a perennial losing program, then I want to look and find coaches that turn things around. Like my brother, L.C. Cole, coached in Ohio Valley Conference, won 2 back-to-back championships. The average coach that does that, especially out of that conference, they move on to somewhere else. He gets no calls. You got Melvin Spears out there. You got James Woody. You got Willie Tott. You got a lot of ex-guys that come out of hell of a program, put together hell of a programs that's not getting opportunities. So if I'm one of those programs in our conference, I'm looking for someone, and especially if I've been a perennial losing program, someone to be able to come in and turn around the program.
Okay. Well, let me ask this question, since it's so many people that have been on record for applying, a program that you're near and dear to under the Pete Richardson, let's say, umbrella or branch of coaches, is that a job that would interest you?
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, I was up underneath Pete's umbrella. I've competed against Pete. I've beaten Pete twice. I've competed against Broadway. I've beaten Broadway. I've competed against Coach Combsy. I've beat Combsy 4 times in a row at Valley and at Jackson State. I've played against the best guys as a head coach and as offensive coordinator. When Ron Cooper was in the league, another PWI guy come down. I averaged scoring 50 points on him. I've done my due diligence. I've been trained by the best. I've been out to Frisco under Bill Walsh. I've been to Miami Dolphins, Jimmy Johnson. Under that, I've been under L.C. Cole. I can't say enough about him. And, the guys that came up under me, I've went on to be head coaches. So yes, I think it's time. I've paid my dues, and I've kept my nose clean and went on about my business and went on and got more educated. And, I think I'm ready. Well, I know I'm ready.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because you were talking about keeping your nose clean. And when we hear the X's and O's of Johnny Cole, no doubt brilliant coaching mind, football mind, but the blurred line would be the personal off the field challenges that a Johnny Cole has had. Without going into too much detail, have you exercised those demons, if you allow me to put it that way?
Well, I wouldn't actually say they're demons. Mike, when you somebody, what I mean, and when you have achieved the greatest and achieved the highest thing, everybody is reaching for you. Everybody is trying to pull you right and left. Everybody is trying to make money off of you. Everybody is trying to get some attention. I like to thank my haters for keeping me, and my name out there. But I have personal issues just like everybody else. I'm not removed from that. You know what I mean? And, I've moved on from those things, and I've been able to continue to work and take care of my family, which is the utmost importance.
Absolutely. Now, we have multiple people that come in, listen, and they chime in, and some respond, some don't respond. If there's an administrator listening to this interview right now, what would be the message from you to them that would at least warrant you to sit down at the table to kick the tires even further to see if Johnny Cole would fit that program?
My thing is getting to the table, Coach. And, once I speak to the people in charge and they feel my heart, my desire to coach young people and to direct them in the right way, then they'll see the passion that I have for this game. One thing that I've learned sitting out of this game is this been a gift from God for me, and, my upbringing, from my 8 brothers, my mother who's a praying mother, all the other people who have helped me get to this point. I'm built to be a coach, and just all the experiences that I've had, and you learn, Mike, I had so much success so fast that I didn't really understand the business part of it. I really didn't understand how big I was or I got because my circle was open. My circle was too big. And when you have your circle too big, there's some people around there that's just around to hang out to see what you're doing and why you're doing, and that instead of being helpful. So I had to learn that, and unfortunately I learned it the hard way. Mike, I don't have no alcohol problems. I don't have no drug problems. I don't beat my wife. I ain't broke the law. I hadn't broke the law. Have I broke some policies? Yes. But how many coaches have it? I don't think there's a program in this country that hadn't broke an NCAA rule or violation. So, for them to ride me that hard, man, is unfair. But I understand that being in the captain's chair, that comes with it.
Do you think it's a personal attack?
Ain't no question. Ain't no question. When you turn around and look back, and say that, every school that's been in your conference have done the same thing that they said your program has done, of course. But, Mike, I made mistakes, man. I own up to them. That, and I walked away. I didn't badmouth the school. I didn't badmouth, I just walked away, Coach. All the people I've helped and I've continued. And Mike, like you said, when you open up this show, my name is still synonymous with winning. My name is still synonymous with positive things. And I've touched a lot of guys. I've touched a lot of kids, and that's what it's about.
No doubt about it. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with Johnny Football Cole telling his story. And that's what we do here at the Open Mic. We allow people to tell their stories. And you know what I appreciate the most, Johnny, is that you're answering the question straight up. You're not soft shoe trying to avoid this, that, and the other. Because this is a bumpy road. It's a challenging road. But I also know that people can be forgiven if the opportunity presents itself and you're able to stand on the sidelines again, I think you do a good job, you know. And the question that arises is, do we put all in on Johnny, or would Johnny come in as an assistant and work his way up through a system?
Well, you know, one of the things, Mike, you know, when you dig into, you know, my background, you know, it hadn't been a smooth road of how I have came in with jobs. Either the president wasn't there, or the athlete wasn't there, or they came behind, you know, came behind me, and you know, and we, you know, me and my brother talked a lot, and we were kind of before our times. You know, we sit and, you know, we listen to Dion, and you know, he's trying to get his program around over there, and the things he's saying, we already don't said that. We already don't done that. You know, with the hiring of Eddie George, not one time have they mentioned the 98 and 99 Ohio Valley Conference Championship that was coached by L.C. Cole, first black coach to ever win a PWI conference. You don't hear that. That's history. You know what I mean? You know, when I used to sit on the bus and listen to Eddie Robinson talk, Reno Cat, you know, these guys, you know, they talked about these days was coming. And, you know, that's what it is. You know, we ride ourselves much harder than we ride our counterparts.
Why is that, Coach?
I don't know if it's some culturally that happens to us. You know, we talk about recruiting in the SWAC, you know, and why we ain't getting pro players. It ain't no so much necessary that black kids don't want to go to HBCUs. They went to HBCUs in the 90s, early 90s, in the 80s, and the 70s, because Eddie Robinson, them, W.C. Gordon, them, Knicks, they coached most of the black coaches that was in the public schools. That's who sent them athletes. You know, things is you know, I've talked with people about, why black don't give money back to their schools. People give money to people. They don't give money to the buildings. They give money for relationships. You know what I mean? They have relationships.
Yes, sir.
So when you have relationships, you know, that's how me and my brother got kids. We had no problem getting 4- and 5-star athletes. If you look what I had at Texas Southern, I had 40 transfers. Did anybody say anything about that? I was the first one to have an article in the ESPNU to say, transfer you. So this stuff that's happening now, all of a sudden, this stuff been happening.
Yes, sir.
But it's just the media. It's the media part. So then you have those haters that can get behind the media, and then they keep negative stuff out there. Coach Johnny Cole ain't the first coach that had an NCAA violation. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to be the last.
Well, you definitely won't be the last, Coach. And unfortunately, I'm getting to where I got to get ready for my next segment. But I want to give you an opportunity to have some brief closing comments and statements. The floor is now yours, sir.
Well, Johnny Cole is a guy of honesty and loyalty, hardworking. I think you're not going to find another guy that's more passionate than me about coaching this game, about having the mind for the game. You know, things that's happening now, you know, as far as, is it new football? Well, no, the football field is still 100 yards long and 50 yards wide. You know, and I'm very talented. I still got the know-how. I still know people all over this business. I still get calls about kids and people wanting to send their kids to play for me. I still get calls from my former players, you know, about evaluating what they're doing on the field and that good thing. So, you know, I'm here. I'm sitting and waiting. I'm hungry, you know, and you know, Mike, I can't take anything now. You know, I still got, you know, kids that I'm sending through college, but I'm willing and ready to go.
Yes, sir.
And I just want to thank you for continue to give me an opportunity to be heard. I want to thank my haters because they do a good job. Matter of fact, I probably need to get 2 or 3 more. I want to thank my family, you know, my kids for you know, being able to have to listen to some of that stuff. But the day is over for that, Coach. I've moved on. I'm a praying man. And I'm not that guy 10 years ago. And I'm looking forward to an opportunity, and I think it's coming.
All right. All right. Coach, I thank you so much. And you keep hanging in there, man. Keep fighting the good fight. And as they say, this too shall pass. All right, my man?
Thank you.
All right.
I appreciate you.
All right, Coach Johnny Football Cole. We got to take a break and get ready for our next guest here from the Sunday Night Live edition of the Mike Prince Show. Keep it right where you got it. We will be right back.
Reflections Paint and Auto Body Shop, located in Waller, Texas, is ready to restore the beauty of your automobile. Whether it's a small dent or a major accident, if your vehicle needs auto body repair, check out Reflections Paint and Body Shop. All repairs are completed by highly skilled and trained professionals. They are located at 2910 Waller Street in Waller, Texas. And just in case you can't get it into them, they provide towing services. Call them today, 936-931-5780. That number again, 936-931-5780.
Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org. Let's face it, from time to time, we'll have a need for an attorney, whether it's the case of a DUI, DWI, or any other circumstances that would find you on the other side of the law. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, located at 1047 Austin Street, is the one to call. Attorney Lee Van Richardson and his staff are equipped to help you get through your legal battles. Attorney Lee Van Richardson, 979-826-8008 in Hempstead, Texas.
This broadcast is being made possible by the support of the Prairie View Athletic Club. The Prairie View Athletic Club is a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics. For more information on becoming a member of the Prairie View Athletic Club, send your email to pvathletic.club@gmail.com. That email address again is pvathletic.club@gmail.com. Prairie View Athletic Club, a proud supporter of Prairie View A&M University athletics.
Have sports, will travel. The Open Mic Broadcast Network serving student athletes from Little League, high school, and collegiate coverage right here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network. From coast to coast, from dusk till dawn. You can catch all student athletic action right here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the station designed with you in mind. Serving the community through faith and athletics, the Open Mic Broadcast Network, the voice of student athletics. And welcome back to Sunday Night Live edition here on the Open Mic Broadcast Network and the Mike Prince Show. Our first guest was Coach Johnny Football Cole. We're now going to stay in the football coaching bracket. We're going to stay in Waller County, Texas, and open it up now on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with Coach Eric Dooley. How you doing this evening, Coach?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Mike?
Well, I'm doing great, man. As they say, a lovely Sunday evening, and it's a time to get some things done and situated. What's going on, man, in this world of cancellations and everything that's been going on in the world of football?
I tell you, it's the new wave right here. You know, at some point, I guess they say if you live long enough, you'll go through it. And I think everybody in our conference had an opportunity to see what this COVID-19 have done to this past football season. But overall, I thought it was great. 3 games. I always try to challenge myself in things that we do and how we do it to make it a positive outcome. And I look at it as, in the springtime, you have 15 practices. And at the end of each week, you always have a scrimmage. So I looked at us having 3 games with results to 3 weeks of practices and having 3 games. But now instead of having scrimmage, we had games. So, a team is well rested. A team got a chance to gain some SWAC hours. And I thought it was very, good for the situation that we had to deal with.
Absolutely. Now, what was the main thing that you gained out of this spring season? And if you had to do it all over again, would you enter into this thing, or would you have taken the exit role such as Alcorn?
As long as it's safe and they can provide a safe environment for my student athletes, I'm going to play. I'm going to love playing because I know that's what they love doing, and I love competing. But yes, I would do it all over again.
Okay. Now,
I just would be more experienced doing it all over again.
Absolutely. I think we all would, Coach. We all would on that note. Now, with all that being said, you had some injuries that were kind of obvious in the spring, in particular with the running back position. How is the forecast of that looking as you head toward fall right now?
Oh, it's looking good. Those guys now they're healed up. I do know that the spring moves right into the fall. So you say, well, what time you have to heal? I just have a person that always looks over me. So they know if certain things happen at a certain time. So now those individuals have time to heal and be ready to go.
Okay, we're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with Coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Coach, it's no secret there's a new way of things being done right now, and the big caveat now is the transfer portal. Just as you can be a benefactor of it, you can also be one to get hit by it, and it's a two-way street. Are you concerned about any of your potential players that would want to test the waters, if you would, by going into the portal?
Well, you got to be ready for everything. I'm very, very I communicate with my players on a daily basis. So, the young men today, they do some things that their family may want them to do. So, I wouldn't foresee that and say, no, it wouldn't happen, because it can happen and it's going to happen everywhere. But I just prepare myself to make sure that whatever adjustment I have to make, that we'd be ready to go, that to move the team in the right direction.
Okay, and moving in the right direction, if you were to have a short list right now, what would you say is the greatest need for your team right now to get you over that hump?
Well, I've always been known for receiver play, and I've always been known for having those dominant receivers. And, you get a chance to hear individuals say who got the best receiving core. I don't take that. I don't take that kind. So, I listen to it and I understand that. That's a pride thing for me as well. That's my identification. So if I can get maybe 1 or 2 wide receivers that do the things that along to go with the guys that we have already, I think we'd be in good shape because we did sign some exciting guys that's going to come this fall, and we have some guys that return and that got a chance to get some experience this spring.
Okay, and we just kind of opened me up, Coach, and we're going to play a little game. We're going to give a letter grade. We're going to give a letter grade for each position that we call out, and you can explain why you give the grade, or you can just give the grade, and we'll go to the next position. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, quarterback play.
I give them a C+ right now. Still have some things that they need to do. I'm not one to say that manage the game. I want to win the game. Okay. Running back play. Did quite have, when you have a Dewanye Tucker and you lose a Dewanye Tucker, you expect certain things. Right now, I give the running backs a D right now. We didn't accomplish, we didn't have a 100-yard runner at all this year. In 3 games is well over enough where we can have a guy to get 100 yards. So I give that a D. It's a work in progress. I know we experimented in the last game. I thought the young man did a great job, being that he never played running back on a collegiate level.
Okay, and D as in dog, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
yes, sir.
Okay. I just want to make sure we got a good understanding. Wide receiver play.
A C+. I saw some good things, and I saw some things that got off to a slow start. The potential is there. The talent is there. I just got to continue to work. I think there was a little lack of game experience. And, we had a situation happen right towards the season started. So I give them a C+, but I like the direction that they're going in.
Okay. Offensive line.
That's a tough one right there, because some of the things that took place, and I thought we had a lot of experience in that situation. But we did have a couple of guys that I didn't think played the best that they could have played. So that's a C minus for me.
Okay, C minus. Now let's flip over to the defensive side of the ball, and since we ended with the O line, the D line.
I'll give that D line a B plus. I thought those guys got after it, and I'm a tough grader, so it's not going to be an A because we're going to still continue to work for something. But those guys are as closest to a high mark that you can get.
Okay. Linebackers,
there it is again, a B. But if I had to change it, they had one gentleman I think almost deserved an A. That young man was playing like lights out football, and I think he have a chance to win a couple of prestigious awards as the season ends.
Okay, and then your DBs.
I'll give them a B as well. I thought the defense side of the ball played well because they have a lot of experience. They played together and did some great things. Still got some things they have to work on, but I feel real good about what they were doing, so I'll give them a B.
Okay, a B. And when you go to special teams play, your punting and your kicking game.
I tell you my kicking game because here what took place because I had my starting kicker that was pretty much perfect almost and did a great job. And then he had to sit out for a couple of days, for a couple of weeks. And then I had a freshman come in and play lights out and did a tremendous job. That would probably be the only group that I'll give an A minus to.
Okay, an A minus to the kicking game. Now here comes a real tricky one, Coach. How do you grade the coaching staff?
Oh, well, you grade it by your room. Grade it by your room. I think you got to take the grade that your room displayed. So those are some of the things that you work on, and we all understand that, and that's what we are going through right now to how we can make things better. The encouraging part, we're right on the right highway.
Okay, we're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline with head football coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. No football this weekend, which I kind of speculated that would probably be the case with the way things had lined up. The 24th was originally a makeup date, and since it had already been predetermined who would be playing in the championship game to avoid any potential injury or possible setbacks from COVID, the game was canceled. Now the rubber meets the road, Coach. You didn't get a chance to play against A&M, but they were on the schedule. And I'm pretty sure that you studied both teams. Who do you see winning this week and why?
I'll tell you, it's going to be a good contest. It's going to be a lot of offense displayed. It's going to be whatever defense that can make the final a stop because I think both offenses are going to be explosive and do some good things. And it could come down very well to the special team battle as well. But you know what? Both of those guys are a good friend of mine. I know they're waiting for me to make a pick. I can't make a pick. Whoever win, I'll call and give them and congratulate them.
Okay, well, you're going to be politically correct on this evening. I understand. I don't want to put you in no hot water, but we do appreciate it. It should be a very good game. I am on the record for saying I don't know yet. No, so I don't know who's going to win just yet. Now, Coach, it's obvious that there was a huge move made this week with Coach Dawson Odoms heading toward Norfolk State. And it's no secret. It is a very, let's say, attractive opening that's happened to be within the same division. And let's be honest, a program that you had some roots in and some success to. And I'm not saying that you are about to leave Prairie View, but does it thoughts dance in your head about the what ifs and the possibilities when you hear of an opening like that?
No, you try to stay focused because you tell your kids all the time to remain focused. So you just remain focused at the task at hand. Do you sit? My wife and I, we sit down and we talk about everything. We both have that same vision, so we talk about everything and just look at every situation that takes place. And I think it's all about the things that's beneficial to your family, to you and your family as well. But I'm a straight-headed guy. I try not to get involved in a lot of things. I'm laid back. Some folks may not believe it. I can flip the switch when I get on the field, but off the field, I'm kind of to my family. I do mingle with people, but I don't get involved in a lot of things because I'm not that type of person. And I know, things are said, things are done, but I stay to myself. So that way, when you stay to yourself, it only can come from one person, self.
Understood. So the rumors and the whispers are floating high and mighty right now, Coach, by a lot of names that have been thrown out and into the ring of fire. Whether it's true or not, time will tell on that. But it is definitely a unique time at Southern. And with you being once on the inside tracks of Southern, do you see this as something that potentially could end up setting Southern back if the right move is not made, with Dawson Odom leaving the program in the shape that he brought it in or brought it back from, and with all the legwork that he put in?
I think any program you got to make the right move, because you can set yourself back. And this day and time is no longer that you got 4 and 5 years to get things straight. No, you got to get it right now. So I think you got to make sure you really take a look at the situation and see what's going to best fit the university to move forward. And then that individual got to be able to make assessments to see what it is that is missing and what needs to be done to get them over that hurdle. When you take a look at the Dawson Motor football team, they've been great. They've been getting to the SWAC championship, but that's never the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal is to win the SWAC championship. So now you got to find that extra edge. What can get you over that hump to get you to that next step? That is in winning the SWAC championship, which we know is going to be made up a little different. It's very, very competitive in this conference. So it got to be the right fit. There's no question about it. There's no easy way to go about it.
Absolutely. We're on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline with Coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. Now, enough of the Jaguar Nation talk. Let's get back to Panther Nation. Fall is really coming up on us in a light speed form, and you got a lot of what I'm going to call detailed assessment on this extended version of spring football, and you're heading toward the fall. Alcorn will be coming to the West. So the West just got a little bit more tougher, even though we have Bethune-Cookman and FAMU coming. The East is going to be tough as well. But right now, it's about taking care of home in the Western side of things. And with that being said, what is your schedule looking like as far as getting the guys into fall football mode?
We're already into fall football mode. I make assessments, and I understand that we couldn't put now you take advantage. I like to waste no time. I feel now you can move forward into and getting an early start for summer when you talk about strength and conditioning. So those young men right now, because they missed some time with the strength and conditioning, I got those young men right now going in.
I think we may have lost Coach Dooley.
Okay, come that time now.
We lost you just for a second, Coach.
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We lost you just for a second. You said you got the guys going in. I know you're traveling.
Yeah, they're going right now because I think it's very, very important that they move forward in the weightlifting. They missed some time, due to the COVID type situation. So we feel good about where we're at right now. So they're still lifting right now and preparing for the finals to close out this semester and move right into the summer, because the summer gonna come June 1st. And right now, as we speak, I want to say I may be a day or two off. You're 125 or 126 days away from the first game.
Yes, sir. And that seems far, but it's yet so close. And time really, really moves, especially if you caught napping. We're once again talking with Coach Eric Dooley and getting the plan and the structure in place for fall 2021. Coach, with that being said, you have a pretty strong schedule coming up. I got excited that you got Houston Baptist on the program. Houston Baptist has elevated their program a little bit, and then, of course, you'll be playing Incarnate Word. And part of the, stumbling block, not just for PV, but for SWAC schools, is being able to get those critical non-conference wins, in particular that of the Southland or an Ohio Valley, even though we hadn't scheduled none of them, or Missouri Valley. How critical is it for the prestige of the conference that we start winning some of these games?
It's very critical because they want to separate. We're still FCS football, regardless of where you look at the Southland Conference, the SWAC Conference, the MEAC Conference. It doesn't matter. It's still FCS football, and we don't want them to think that they're any higher than what we are because we play a good brand of football within this conference right here. But more importantly, it's important for Prairie View as well because those are two schools that's in the state of Texas where you're gonna come head to head with recruiting. So those battles are very, very intense. I think it's a great opportunity. So we'll be up for the challenge, no question.
Okay, and being up for the challenge, Coach, and I don't know if you'll agree with this assessment of mine or not, sometimes it appears that we only battle test ourselves for conference. And when we step outside of conference, we have all kind of struggles, even our upper echelon teams that represent this conference. Why is that?
That's almost a true statement. But let me tell you what I'm preparing. You'll see a motto that we use and that we say, and it's just a simple phrase: spot the ball. So that means when we say spot the ball, we don't care who it is, what conference it is. We're ready to play 60 minutes of football, and that's how we're going to treat it because we feel that any team we line up down with, we have an opportunity to win, and that's what we're out to do. But I understand what you're saying. And I kind of looked at some things and saw some things, and I hear whispers of those same things that you just said. I don't know if that's the case, but, I know every coach within this conference, when they play those schools, they're going out. I don't know where the situation lies at, what things happen in that nature, but this is a new day and time. I think it's going to be hard-pressed to face a team in the Southwest Athletic Conference and think it's going to be easy or think you're going to get a win. It's going to be real tough.
Yes, sir. It's going to be extremely tough. And those are my, I guess, itches, if you would, that need scratching in a severe way. And, of course, I'm always pulling for the purple and gold. But anytime a SWAC school goes out non-conference, I'm pulling for them. And I'm tired of the close games and the hand grenades and horseshoes. I need some of these dubs to come back to the SWAC conference because it can't do nothing but help elevate the conference. And do you think the coaching and the talent is that different, or is it something that we just haven't quite put our finger on yet?
No, the coaching and the talent is not different. I would be the first to say that I feel there's more talent in the Southwestern Athletic Conference. You're talking about young men, size, speed, and strength of the guys that's in this conference right here, and it's no secret. And the coaching, I can only speak for the Southwestern Athletic Conference. We got some great coaches in this conference that can go to battle with anyone. So I feel confident in the schools that's going to play outside the conference this year here. I can say look for a different result this year.
Oh, no doubt. I'm going to be looking for a different result every year until the sweet Lord call me home himself. So I'm always expecting.
Absolutely.
You expect greatness in order to be in the midst of greatness. And
Absolutely.
Striving for being good is not good enough. I'm not happy to be here. I not only did I deserve to be here, I deserve to bring home some wins. And that's the goal that we have. Well, Coach, we always appreciate you making yourself available. And I know that time is pressed right now, but I want to give you some closing thoughts and comments about the week that was, the week that's going to be in the world of HBCU football, and just the special times that we're facing right now.
Yeah, I was hoping to get off and play a game. Of course, it's a game that everybody been looking at playing because of, I guess, a lot of the publicity that came in with the Jackson. I always like to see my guys line up with certain teams. But, I think the best is yet to come now. I think we're moving forward within this fall season. I expect a closer sense of normalcy fall right here. And, of course, you prepare for it. And I tell you what, I think it's going to be a lot of excitement. Can't wait to get those other schools here in the conference, and then also to bring Alcorn over to the West. I tell you what, the West have already been real competitive. You can lose one game on the West side and do not go to the championship. So
Absolutely.
We know on this side right here, you got to be ready to play week in and week out. But of course, you accept the challenge. You love the competition, and it's going to be exciting and fun.
Well, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. But it says more fun when we're winning, right, Coach?
Absolutely. You can do all the correction with a W. It's hard to correct with an L because there's no question you got a lot of correction to do, but you enjoy correcting when it's a WIN behind it.
Yes, sir. Well, Coach, look, I want to thank you so much, sir. And I know we probably got one more time next week to recap this championship game that was. Can we schedule that in for next week, sir?
Absolutely. I'll definitely be available.
Okay, then. Well, Coach Eric Dooley on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline joining in with us, talking about X's and O's and everything else that comes along with it. Coach, you have a wonderful weekend, sir, and travel safe. All right, my friend?
Thanks. Thank you, Mike.
All right. Coach Eric Dooley of the Prairie View A&M University Panthers. We are going to take us a break, and we'll come back with more closing thoughts and comments of tonight's episode.
We are the SWAC. Our heritage lifts us to great heights because my history is forged by trailblazers. That motivates me today to focus on my future. We are the SWAC. We are the new trailblazers. And this is my heritage.
And welcome back to the Sunday Night Live edition of the Mike Prince Show. Just heard from Coach Eric Dooley talking about X's and O's. And, of course, the latest news coming out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Coach Dawson Odom headed to higher ground. And it's never easy to move on. It's always a challenge, always tough decisions to be made. But guess what? They have to be made. And you have to look out for, I guess, the best interest for your families involved. And is it ever a good time to move forward? Is it ever a good time to say, well, I've done all that I can do here. It's time for me to reach for higher ground. I know that Southern will survive, but it's not going to be an easy survive. And who knows the domino effect that could trigger off all of this. And once I said, it is a business. And these men take the risk of uprooting their families, going on jobs that are not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed but death and taxes. But when the dust settles, they have some tough decisions to make. And all you can do is wish Coach Odom and his staff nothing but success. But the one thing that I did think about, if we really be honest with ourselves, he just really got somewhat of a less difficult path to reach the Celebration Bowl. Only 6 teams that are playing football in the MEAC compared to 12 that'll be in the SWAC and in the Western Division, if the truth be told. And all Coach Odom has to do is beat a couple of key teams, and he could be representing the MEAC with the Spartans of Norfolk State. Wow. What a difference. Can't even say a day makes, but a few hours make. We'll see how all this unfolds and see what the end is going to be. We'll get a chance to recap baseball, what it was. Prairie View making a surge in the Western Division, trying to position themselves, Grambling, showing their authority over Texas Southern. We'll recover all of that, Lord say the same, on Monday morning. But for right now, I am about to exit stage left. I want to thank Coach Johnny Cole coming on, answering some stiff questions. But he stood toe-to-toe, and I appreciate that. Thank Coach Eric Dooley, answering questions and keeping the focus and the main thing. It's always something moving, always something brewing. And it is our endeavor to try to give you the news that you could use each and every day. I want to thank our sponsors and underwriters for helping to keep us moving. And want to take this time to extend to you an opportunity to become a listening partner. All you have to do is visit the website at obnradio.com. Click on the donation button. Any amount will be greatly appreciated and will help move our cause forward. I must exit stage left. My time is far spent. I want to thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show. And the YouTube channel is Open Mic Broadcast Network. And until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.